about, then planning, and finally we made The Irishman. It was good to put myself in the hands of my friend, this great filmmaker, and the recipient of your Sonny Bono Visionary Award, Marty Scorsese.
Thank you for this honor, and thanks, Bob. Thanks, Bob, for doing this tonight. I know it means a lot. Thank you. And you know, it's been 37 years since I've been in Palm Springs. Yeah, I mean, I must say it's changed. It's wonderful to be here at the festival, which is held in a place that is so much a part of show business history, and of course the home of quite a few great filmmakers. You know, a friend of mine just reminded me that Howard Hawks and William Wilder lived here in Palm Springs, and that John Ford spent his last years one town over in Palm Desert. Now look, a lot of you know I talk a lot about the history of movies, the history of cinema over the years at occasions like this. I even made documentaries about them. I started the Film Foundation, which is like dedicated to restoring and preserving a lot of these films, and there's about 850 we've done now. It's been wild. And I think I've tried to find different ways of saying that we can't have a future of our art form without knowing its past. And I'll just keep saying it because it's true. Now, I've been blessed to have been able to make some interesting pictures over the years. And I gotta tell you, I'll always be thankful to Ted Sarandos and Scott Stuber and everybody at Netflix for allowing us to make The Irishman the way we needed to make it. In a sense, experimenting with a film that was made for theater viewing and streaming viewing at the same time. Now, I know that they're doing the same for many other filmmakers, and I think that they're setting a great example, really. But it's true that I keep learning from the pictures I know that I've seen over the years, rewatching, revisiting them, and at the same time, I'm excited by many of the new pictures being made here in America and throughout the world, Romania and Ireland and Senegal, Argentina, France, Italy, and Japan. But I'm also concerned. I'm almost very concerned about the way that people are seeing movies. Moviegoers are better defined today as movie watchers. A lot of that movie watching now mostly happens at home. That's just the way it is, okay. Hence, I feel it's kind of becoming more and more tailored towards a consumer experience, because movies they're slotted into consumer categories before they're even given a chance to breathe. You got the blockbuster, understandable, you got the independent, okay, you got old, you got new, you got the auteur, which has become an elitist form, unfortunately, an elitist term. There's foreign pictures, and they've never seemed as foreign as they do now. That is, the ones that aren't directed by directors who already have a relationship with the American industry. And of course, there's old movies made by people like John Ford, Hawks, and Wilder. Sadly, they've never seen so old before. Further, I'm concerned about pictures, this is being suggested by algorithms. I know, I get involved with it too. The algorithms, they tell you all these things. If you like that, you might enjoy this. And if you don't enjoy this right away, then there's something else, and something else after that. Actually, the usual end result of that, and it's happened to me, is pretty much is binge watching. So, and which isn't bad, it's just that, you go for one way, and the algorithm is dangerous because it takes away from your creative viewing. I think you have to make up your own mind about creative viewing. I like it, but I'm telling you, I easily fall into it and never come back. In fact, there's this paranoia that kind of of sets in with algorithms. I find that once I punch up Netflix or something and I see, because you watched the Zombie Slumber Massacre. I said, no, I didn't watch it, it was a mistake. It really was. I didn't, okay, I hit the button, I don't know what happened, okay. You know, and like, but they have all this. This is written down. You know, you watch Zombie Slumber Massacre. It may have been good. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing. Now, look, I know the business has changed, and everything changes all the time. Impermanence. That's what it's about. It's wide open though now. You can watch everything, anytime, anywhere, and it puts a burden on you, on the viewer. You know, not all changes are all for the good, and I just feel that we might be tilting. If we're not careful, we might be tilting the scales away from that creative viewing experience and away from movies as an art form. And we can't lose sight that it is an art form, albeit composed of many different varied forms within that. I mean, the greatest pictures I've seen, to me, are mysteries in a way. You enter these mysteries. You enter worlds that we inhabit then, and we live in them for a while. We have kind of an experience that we can't help thinking about. You don't want to sometimes go into a movie and say, I gotta go think, I'm gonna see a movie. You don't do that. You want to enjoy it. But somehow there are pictures that stay in your mind. I'm thinking of my own experience of the past 20 years showing films to my youngest daughter, Francesca. And about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe when she was 13, I think, we had a big screening of 70mm screening of 2001 Space Odyssey. And there's only about 6 of us, and it was in the museum. And she's watching the film and watching, and her and her friends, not saying a word. And at the end, when the star baby came up and it cut to the end, she said, "What? What the heck was that?" She's still thinking about it. You know, it stays with them. It stays, and you never know where this is going to reach. For me, ultimately, it's remarkable that so many movies are being made today. And, you know, it's like a dream we had 50 years ago, that you can see them almost immediately accessible, just like that. That's remarkable. You know, because in the old days, we'd have to go from theater to theater. You have to wait a line, you have to do a whole number, you've got to get a seat, and I'm short, and people in front of me were tall, I couldn't see anything. You know, all I can say is that while the art, of course, can't survive without the business, I have to say that in the end, the business certainly isn't going to survive without the art, which is made by people with something to say. And you see examples tonight. The people who received the awards here tonight, the films they've made, they've got something to say. You know, every individual filmmaker amounts to more than the number of awards they've won or the amount of monies the pictures make. And every individual viewer, it's you, amounts to more, much more than the data that has been collected about them, So, thank you very much. Thank you. Great honor. Wonderful to be here again.